Hey, what's up? This is Silenos from DIMMU BORGIR, and you're listening to Heavy Demons.
So, dear Silenos, what can you tell us about the amazing Forces of the Northern Light DVD? What will the fans find there?
They will first and foremost find the two biggest shows we have ever done in a live setting. With orchestra and choir, and that's something that we don't normally do, but we have, I guess you can say, wanted to do it for many, many years. We have done, we have worked quite a few times with orchestra on the record, but not on the stage before. So this is a new thing for us. Although the recordings are several years old now, they still are the two biggest shows we've done, so we feel it's still justifiable to release it and document it.
Yeah, and how was the experience of working live with either an orchestra and a choir?
Well, it was a lot of work, of course, but I think since we were really well prepared, not to mention the orchestra as well, they were, especially the Cork Orchestra is renowned for being one of Europe's most experienced and best orchestras. So when we got contacted by them in 2009 about planning a show, we could not say no to such an opportunity. And we were working on the new album at the time, Abrahadabra, and we had the idea already to use an orchestra, but of course we couldn't in our wildest dreams imagine that Cork would contact us and ask us if we wanted to collaborate with them. So that's how it all came about, and they played on our album then, and we started working towards putting a proper show up in Oslo.
Is it too early for you now to tell us something about the long-anticipated new album by DIMMU BORGIR?
Well, it's not too early, I guess, in the sense that I can reveal that we have pretty much finalized the master for the new album. So, so everything recording-wise is done. You know, now we are gonna move into finalizing the artwork and anything that comes with that, and so yeah, it's what's too early to tell at the moment is to try and describe the album. I mean, it's gonna sound like DIMMU, I can assure you that, but it's, yeah, I guess it's a more organic recording sound, because we went to Sweden with Jens Bogren, and we wanted to try and have a more warmer, rounder, organic sound, and I think we have nailed it pretty well.
What do you recall about like the early days of black metal in Norway, and how are younger generation reacting nowadays to like those days in history?
I think there's still, for the younger generation, it's still something captivating and fascinating about the early 90s in Scandinavia. You know, many myths were born at the time, and you know how that goes. One tells a story, and then another one picks it up, adds a little bit, and then there you have it, you know. So, but I think it's, I mean, it was definitely a very special time. Everybody was so young, you know, and everybody felt kind of invincible and immortal, and no one could touch us in a way, you know. So, and then you had some people that fell victim of crimes and got sent to prison, and some of us that concentrated on making music, and yeah, that's something I'm really proud of today.
Yeah. And like doing black metal in 2017 and being young, what are your thoughts about it? Which advices would you give to younger generations?
Well, I guess giving an advice more on a general level, because the term black metal has been so watered out for the last few years, So it's I think what's important is to find a group of people that you enjoy being with and that you enjoy playing with, jamming with, and making music together with, and that's and it's hard to as a young band to start having ambitions, because I don't think when the band starts out really young, if the ambition is to become famous, make money, and blah blah blah, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have an honest foundation, and then that's to be yourself. Find your own expression. Of course, there takes a lot of time and effort into having a band today, just as much as it was when we started the band. So it's just to keep focused, and if you want to go somewhere, you have to be prepared to sacrifice quite a lot. Those sacrifices you don't really know until they are there. So you kind of have to make a choice when you get pushed to a challenge. There's either yes or a no. There's no in between, because if you're hesitating, then things are not going to move forward.
Yeah. And which are your main influences as a musician?
Well, if you talk about other types of music, it's definitely been changing for the last 10-15 years. I've been becoming way more open towards listening to other types of music, and I think when you get older, you tend to not think so much about labels, like is it black metal, is it death metal, is it heavy metal, whatever. You end up listening to something and you decide, is this something for me, is it good, or does it sound something that I don't feel interested in. I think that's how it is for me now. So I can listen to pretty much anything, but it has to give me something, Otherwise I move on to something else.
Yeah, and do you find any differences between like playing in Europe and in America? I mean, the reactions of the audience.
Right. Well, it's I don't know. It's hard to tell, actually, because I think it changes from time to time you're there. Let's say you're in the States and you just come from a European tour, and there's parts in Europe too that people react differently. But I think it's the day of each place the band plays. It comes down to the exchange of energy levels between the audience that are there and the band. I mean, a Monday night in Kansas could be, more wild than a Saturday in LA. You never know. So it all comes down to the day, basically.
So, like one final greeting and message to the Italian fans of DIMMU BORGIR.
Well, I'm really anxious to be coming back now with our new DVD, of course, and later this year when the new album is going to be released, and we can finally start touring and see our fans in Italy again. We have been extremely fortunate to have so many diehard fans in Italy, and yeah, we look forward to celebrate 2017 and the next coming years together with our fans.
Do you know any Italian bands?
Yeah, of course. Well, Bulldozer, Death SS, yeah, I mean, there's tons of Italian bands. Mortar Drape,
yeah,
more of the older school style that we grew up listening to.